As violence in Syria escalates, the United States and European Union have begun the sanctions-imposing process in a UN Security Council statement.
The U.S. response is critical, and at this point it really needs to be stepped up. More needs to be done to pressure President Assad and those within his inner circle to end the violent repression of unarmed civilians who are protesting peacefully.
But this approach towards Syria contrasts markedly with its military intervention in Libya or silence toward the brutal crackdown of pro-democracy protesters in Bahrain, a strategic U.S. ally in the Persian Gulf. According to Elana Berger of the Global Center for the Responsibility to Protect, this is because Syria is more amenable to international pressure than Libya or Bahrain.
The fact that the Syrian government was ready to negotiate, was ready to reform, was ready to make concessions, shows that I think there is a little more room for the international community to place pressure on the Syrian government in a way that differs from what happened in Libya.
A senior fellow at the Independent Institute disagrees, stating that the issue is not one of openness to international pressure, but rather U.S. interests in the region.
The U.S. doesn't support the Syrian regime, and so what's happened, the model seems to be in Egypt, Tunisia, Yemen, and Bahrain, is that you try to support the autocratic leader until the people won't allow it anymore, and then you switch positions and rhetorically support democracy.
Eland expanded on what he states are double standards in the role of the U.S. throughout the Arab Spring taking place in the Middle East and North Africa.
I think they're trying to make these distinctions based on morality when the distinctions are not based on morality. They're based on whether the perceived interest of the U.S. That is our fleet stationed in Bahrain. Our fleet's not stationed in Syria. So, and Syria is opposed to the United States and Israel, so therefore U.S. criticizes Syria more than Bahrain.
After siding reluctantly with the people's revolutions in Tunisia and Egypt against pro-American regimes, Obama has reportedly reverted to Washington's old double standard of one law for allies, another for adversaries. Worse, Obama and company acquiesced to a Saudi-led military intervention in Bahrain to support the king against the will of his people. This cynical, self-serving response to the Arab awakening is sowing the seeds of future conflicts between Arabs in the West and therefore Muslims in the West, the very divide that Obama has tried hard to bridge. Marjan Asi, Press TV, Washington.